What's up, everybody? This imbecile called Professor Stick made a response video to my cancer video, and it's just another one of those copy channels. There's many of these stick figure channels out there, and I noticed that most of them have very stupid viewers who know that they are retarded, so they want to feel clever. And it's just really funny to watch this and to read the comments. That's the main reason I'm doing this, for humor. I skipped through it. It's mind blowing how stupid this guy is. Alright.
Hey, what's up guys? So of course we're back to more cancer, and yet again here's another guy claiming that cancer isn't bad for you, but actually good. Wow, surprise surprise. Yep, no surprises here, just roll the clip.
Even if you
Roll
won't be
the titles.
diagnosed with
Goji
cancer, it's likely that somebody around you will. If you provide them with this information, it will save their life.
Is the advice to tell them to see an oncologist? Because that's what I would tell my friends and family if they got diagnosed with cancer.
Along with heart disease, it's supposed to be one of the main reasons humans are dying nowadays.
Why are you laughing? Did I miss a joke?
With the
It is a
exception
joke,
that heart
because it's
disease is
an
a
absolute
real
lie.
thing, and cancer is the opposite of what we've been told. It's more or less as big of a conspiracy as the Earth being flat.
Okay, at least you're not a flat earther, I guess. But please, do tell us how cancer is the opposite. Is it perhaps good for you, and is fighting another disease we're just not aware of? Okay, so I don't know how many times I have to say this, but cancer is not your friend. It's when your regular cells go rogue and disobey the signaling that normally keep them in check. They grow and multiply until eventually they spread or inhibit the function of some major organ, which can kill you if not caught early. I feel like spreading this type of misinformation is kind of an insult, not only to victims of cancer, but also to oncologists and researchers who have dedicated their lives to trying to solve the puzzle of cancer.
Alright, you totally don't understand this at all. Cancer cells mutate to adapt to an unnatural lifestyle. For example, if you smoke, then you will simply adapt to smoking, but in the end, yes, the organ is going to fail. It's very simple, and there's books written about this. You can read Cancer is Not a Disease, It's a Survival Mechanism, or We Want to Live by Agnes Wonderplanet. It's very well researched.
Cancer is actually your friend. All the people that you see around you who are living an unnatural lifestyle, what do you believe is keeping them alive? It's literally cancer.
Okay, so let me get this straight. You're claiming that people who are living unnatural lifestyles, whatever that means, normally would be dead, but cancer is keeping them alive? What an outrageous claim. What about people who live unnatural lifestyles but don't get cancer and are still alive? I don't know your exact definition of unnatural lifestyle, but surely there are people out there that fit the category I just mentioned.
There's people who live it.
That doesn't make any sense at all. Again, if somebody lives and smokes for 10 years, then it's simply going to take a while for them to develop it, and we don't know what kind of cigarettes they're smoking. Some have a lot of toxins, for example. Some simply smoke natural tobacco. So you would need to give an actual example of that. What is this? It's a joke.
Cancer for over 20 years with no ill side effects. Why do you believe it is so?
Okay, well, you're just pointing out specific cases here. Benign tumors can stay for a long period of time without actually doing any harm or spreading to other areas of the body, but that doesn't mean it stays benign. Scientists are still working on exactly what causes them to change from benign to malignant, which is called tumor progression, by the way. Some people can get lucky and perhaps never have to deal with benign tumors. Although, to be honest, I wouldn't bank on that being the case if you have a benign tumor. Anyway, if this is the case, then the patient would have a tumor, yes, but it wouldn't be deemed cancer. Cancer is after it becomes malignant and is able to spread to nearby tissues. If you just have a benign tumor, by medical definition, it's not cancer. If we're talking about people with actual cancer who live for over 20 years, then I'd be quite surprised if that happened without the person receiving treatment. Of course, at the end of the day, there are many factors that would determine how long you live, such as age, the stage and grade of cancer, and what type of cancer it is. But I'd be quite surprised if someone can live for 20 years after being diagnosed with cancer and chose not to seek treatment.
I've talked to many people.
Because, as I said in my video,
He
about
again
cholesterol,
gives no
nothing
cases
that your
whatsoever.
body does is to kill itself. It's programmed to survive. There's no exceptions to this.
Yes, your body does indeed have the proper mechanisms to keep you in place, but you have to understand what cancer is. It's when cells disobey the body's orders due to one or a few essential mutations. So by definition, it's sort of an error that happened with your body. Your body isn't perfect after all. Think of genetic diseases, autoimmune diseases. Cancer is not much different.
Where is the proof that our body isn't perfect? You're just saying stuff. Of course, the cells mutate for a reason. Why would they simply mutate? It's because something is triggering it, and these are the toxins or whatever else they're doing that is unnatural, right? Because in nature, people don't get cancer. If a dog is fed an unnatural diet, it's going to get cancer. A lot of dogs nowadays are dying from cancer. What the fuck?
Our bodies aren't even close to being perfect. And here's something I brought up on a previous video. If cancer is indeed something our body created to defend itself, why do immune cells fight against it? The immune system has specific mechanisms in place to prevent cancer from spreading or growing, and to all around eliminate them. Why would the body have a mechanism like that in place if cancer is something it deliberately created?
Again, where is the proof? You have zero proof for anything you say. There's never been a case, there's never been a record of this, there's nothing. There's zero proof for what you're saying. How can people watch this and believe it? This alone proves how fucking stupid these viewers are. They believe anything. This is religious. I have actual proof for it. You can read the books.
The actual thing that is killing all the people diagnosed with cancer are the treatments.
Yeah, you know, if someone is diagnosed with cancer but the cancer is very progressed, sometimes treatment will have a low chance of success. If that is the case, the doctor may offer the patient a choice to either receive treatment or to not undergo
They
treatment.
say that the treatment is pretty much no way to heal them. It warns people they're going to die from it.
Doctors are committing mass murder nowadays. It's the hospitals.
Yeah, let's just accuse doctors who spent their whole lives studying and treating patients of murder. Not understanding what cancer is one thing, but undermining doctors is another. I don't know about you guys, but I very heavily respect doctors and researchers for doing what they do.
You're fucking stupid, that's why. If doctors prescribe medicine, which is labeled as deadly, to cancer patients, then they're killing them. The hospitals are killing them. By definition, there's no argument because they are. They tell them they have pretty much no chance to survive. How is that not murder? That is by definition murder. Then you don't speak English. What the fuck is this? I can't believe that people fucking watch this crap.
It's not easy.
As I said in my last video, it's not as if they consciously do it. It's that they are misinformed, most of them.
These people studied medicine for a large portion of their lives. Surely they know more than the average person, and especially more than both you and me.
If you do live an unnatural lifestyle, for example, you smoke, the cancer is not always simply going to go away depending on how much you smoke and how strong your body is. But 80% of the time, even if you keep continuing with these things, it will go away like the flu.
I'm glad you brought up smoking, since not smoking is the easiest way to prevent lung cancer. But I don't like how you're not telling people to stop smoking. If anything, you're doing the opposite. You know what? Just for an educational lesson, let's talk about lung cancer for a bit. Tobacco is bad. We all know that. It contains carcinogens, which are essentially substances that encourage DNA breakage. Lots of things you may not think are carcinogens actually are. For example, your sex hormones. Cut out your sex organs and your chances of cancer are lower. You probably don't want to do that though. Tobacco, however, has a very high number of different types of carcinogens that are quite potent. And these carcinogens are specifically mutagens, which are different than promoters, which is found in alcohol, for example. Fun fact, if you either drink or smoke, you are introducing carcinogens in your body. However, if you do both, drink and smoke, then your chances of cancer are significantly multiplied, due to the fact that one gives you a promoter and one gives you a mutagen. Anyway, contact with the substances in tobacco encourages DNA mutation in the lungs. If the mutations strike a core gene, such as an oncogene or tumor suppressor, then the cell will become tumorous.
I don't care to argue this because I don't promote smoking, but most likely he's talking about the pesticides that they use to grow tobacco with, and also the sugar that they put in cigarettes, not what actually naturally occurs in tobacco, so it's irrelevant, but whatever.
Normally, however, your body actually creates many tumor cells on a daily basis, except that your body has multiple mechanisms in place to stop it. However, if you are exposed to carcinogens, or if you are simply aging, then the mutation count increases significantly, which increases the chances of a tumor forming without the body eliminating it beforehand. Everything in this topic is somewhat a game of chance. You can lower your chances, but you can't guarantee prevention. Smoking is simply one of those activities that can significantly raise your chances of lung cancer, which is why I highly recommend not smoking, or quitting if you already smoke. There are other activities to watch out for as well, such as being a couch potato, obesity, eating processed meats, etc. And in general, we could all take care of ourselves a little bit better.
99% of the time, it will disappear if you leave it untreated.
How is it not illegal to make claims like that? That would actually kill people.
There's very few
What you say
exceptions
kills
to
people?
this, and that is when there's tumors involved.
What he's
which are
saying
in
is
a
that we should
place
eliminate free
that could be
speech, even
detrimental
though he is
to your
wrong.
health. Places in your brain, for example.
That's a way that tumors can kill you. They obstruct some essential organ or disrupt some important function. And when cancer cells grow and take a larger presence, they are more and more likely to do something like that. Since he brought up the brain, I would like to point out a fun fact. Did you know if you get brain cancer, it's not actually your neurons that become tumors? Neurons actually don't have the mechanisms to reproduce.
He's
and
reading
multiply
from a
that regular cells
script
do.
to
And I'm
these
sure you've heard
stupid
of the saying
people
that
to make
neurons
them
don't
feel
grow back.
clever.
Instead, there are
It's like,
glial
who
cells
gives
that
a
outnumber
shit?
brain neurons about 10 to 1. These cells help support the
This
neurons
is so
by forming
sad.
myelin
You're trying to
give
sound
insulation,
clever, but you're just
maintain
reading
homeostasis, and
somebody's
provide protection.
opinion.
The glial cells
Literally,
do
that's
have
what you're
proper
doing.
reproductive capabilities, and that's how
What a
they become
fucking
tumors.
joke.
In case you don't know, a hallmark of cancer is that they can grow and reproduce quickly and uncontrollably. Otherwise, they aren't cancer. Since neurons lack the mechanism to reproduce in the traditional sense, they can't become cancerous. After all, cancer is basically the same as regular cells. It's just that they overcame the signaling that would normally prevent them from growing so much, and also the mechanisms of apoptosis. Anyway, that was just a fun fact. Let's move on.
In its essence,
How is that a
it's all
fact
about
if it's
adapting.
literally
That's what your
somebody's
cells do
opinion?
when they
You don't
move.
even have the clue
Except that
what a
it's really
fact or an
about the
opinion is.
mitochondria,
What the
which is inside
fuck?
of your cells. That's where your energy comes from.
Oh, really? I didn't know the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell.
Why do our cells mutate? Why do they die? Why do we get dead cells? The major cause is inflammation.
Please, let's just stop with the inflammation. That's not how you get dead cells. I mean, cells just die. It could be from aging, trauma, whatever. In fact, cells are programmed to die after a certain amount of
All
time.
of that causes inflammation.
Which is, by the way, a mechanism that helps prevent tumor cells. Inflammation isn't always a bad thing like people say it is. In fact, it's necessary to get your immune cells to where they need to be, such as macrophages and dendritic cells. However, too much inflammation is what can cause problems, just like everything else. Too much of anything is not good. I find it amusing how alternative medicine proponents, or people against modern medicine, are always so hung up about inflammation, as if it's the worst thing in the world.
Stress. Modern work, for example, simply doesn't work anymore. Jobs such as hunting used to be a fun practice, but how many people enjoy their work anymore?
Yeah, who actually enjoys their work? Psh.
If we were all educated about health and if the government would want us to be healthy, then we would all understand that healthy mitochondria only works on fat. If you don't feed it saturated fat, you cannot not get cancer.
You're kidding me. You're promoting the consumption of saturated fats? Please don't. Saturated
What
fats
the
are not
fuck?
great. Try unsaturated fats instead. Anyway, that's the end of this video.
Is he
Since he has a
vegan
lot of
or
video
what?
left, I might make a part 2 to this. Who knows? I'm also thinking about making an in-depth video on what cancer is and the biochemical mechanisms behind it. Would you guys enjoy something like that?
Your whole
Let me know
body
in
is
the
made
comment
out of
section below. Thank you to
saturated animal
Fireshark,
fat.
Daniel Seibel, and Shirkan.
God, you're fucking stupid.